Hi there.
Hi, Scott.
Hi,
How
Candace.
Are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So what should sellers do to help their homes sell quickly and make the most money this spring real estate season?
Hey, that's a great question, jumping straight to it. One of the biggest concerns that people have when selling their home is the financial aspect. They're worried about getting the price they want for their home. They're worried about getting top dollar. They're also concerned about being able to keep as much money as possible because it's expensive to sell a home. There's a lot of transaction fees. So a couple tips in order to alleviate some of that would be, number one is prepared. No matter how many times I say this, people still tend to delay and wait and not prepare themselves when selling their home. And that doesn't mean just, putting pictures online and selling it. I mean, spend an entire weekend going top to bottom through your home, depersonalizing, decluttering. If you've got stacks of paper on the desk that have been building up for months, those need to go away. If you've got laundry out, all that needs to go away. Your home should look like a model home when you go to list it. You may also want to do some small upgrades because there's great return on investment. You can actually make money on small improvements like paint, flooring refinishing, appliance replacement, fixtures, lighting, hardware. Those smaller sort of $1,000 to $5,000 type projects may actually increase the value of your home between $5,000 and $15,000 worth of value. So you can make money by improving on some of the small upgrades in your space. So those are physically some of the things you can do in order to maximize your dollars and even increase the speed at which your home sells. But what most people don't know is that there are other financial incentives available now that the new trend has moved towards engaging in some online platforms, for instance. We know from a recent survey that owners.com did that 85% of buyers and sellers are willing to engage in an online transaction, which is fantastic. That number has increased significantly over the last few years. And there are a lot of incentives to do this. You can go through owners.com, for instance, and list your home for sale. You can take on some of the process yourself and save tens of thousands of dollars by going with a flexible fee versus a large commission, which is the traditional way of selling a home, is by paying a realtor a large commission. Now most people are using online platforms and they're keeping a lot of that money. I mean, that's equity you've put into your home. That is, time value of money that is built up in your property. And one of the things I've been doing for 17 years, I've been in real estate. I've been helping people maximize their dollars. And so this is a perfect new tool to have in our quiver where we can save some more money if we're planning on selling.
Definitely. And how do you know how to price your home?
That can be tricky. Everybody thinks their home is worth more than it actually is. But you can use, owners.com, great tool. They've got an appraisal tool on there to help you determine the value of your home. There's several different ways of looking at comparables as well. You can see what similar homes to yours have sold for recently. There's a few different ways to get an accurate pricing model in place in order to price your property appropriately, because the worst thing you can do is overprice your home, overlist it, and then you really turn off buyers. And the longer a home sits on the market without an offer, the less attractive it is to all buyers because people think something's wrong with it.
Is there anything else you can do to make the most money on your home sale?
You know what? I always tell people that the more effort you're willing to put in, the better off you're going to be. If you've got the small upgrades, congratulations. Those improvements can give you great ROI. If you're willing to participate in the selling process and using owners.com to list your home, you're going to keep thousands of dollars off the commission in your pocket. But you can even go one step further and do things like getting a pre-inspection done on your home. A pre-inspection will not only show prospective buyers that you're confident about your home, it will allow more people to to be interested in a property that's been so well maintained and taken care of that the owner is willing to do a pre-inspection and provide that information to prospective buyers. So you can even go one step further if you really want to expedite things and get top dollar. And the great news is all of these resources are available at owners.com. All of these tips are posted there, as well as through my social media. We put links to them. So ideally, as we move into the selling season, which is now, people do the right thing and make as much money as possible.
And what should I consider if I'm buying a home this spring, and how can I get a good deal?
Well, you know, people ask that question, how do I get a great deal if I want to buy property? And I always tell people the best deals aren't necessarily found, they're created. And the big competitive advantage in real estate is what you know, getting that information. You have to realize that people who are engaging in real estate transactions are spending between 1 and 3 hours a day online doing their research. This is your competition. You need to be putting in your time. Get online, start looking at listings, looking at the markets you want to get into, understanding how quickly properties are turning over, what they're being listed for, what the options are. You need to get pre-approved so you can understand what you can afford. The only thing worse than buying your dream, than buying a home that you don't want is buying your dream home and finding out you can't afford it. So understanding that part as well. And you know, on the other side of the save money, you can actually make money by using, in select markets, there's a rebate available. If you purchase online through owners.com, there's a 1.5% rebate in some markets where you're actually going to get refunded or rebated that money for using the online tool. And these are the things that, you know, your competitors, if you're in a market that's pretty hot, other buyers are doing these things, and they have an advantage over you if you're not doing them. What's the biggest tip you'd give to first-time home buyers? First-time home buyers, you know, you will always hear the saying that this is the hardest time for new home buyers to get into the market, and that is always true, and it is always getting more difficult. The 2 tips that I would put out there for new home buyers is start your research immediately. Even if you're not thinking of buying now, you need to start your research now. So first things first, get online, look at other listings, start to understand what's available, how much it costs, and getting yourself pre-approved. That's number 1. Number 2 is don't delay the opportunity to get in the market. It's okay to start shopping and putting in some offers, because if you think it's tough to get into the market now, it's only going to get more challenging in the future. And where can we go for more information, and where can we see you next, Scott? Well, we're currently in production on a brand new show for HGTV, so I'm excited to be filming a new show. But if you want to get access right away, you can follow me on social media. Check out my Instagram or Facebook page, or go to owners.com if you're into a real estate purchase or sale situation. Get informed and look at the opportunities to get listed. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Scott. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to me today.